What is up everyone, Max Lin here, and welcome to episode 13 of Themindhere. This is my bi-weekly update to everyone about upcoming works for this channel, discussing the behind the scenes of my videos, and talking about other things that come to mind. It also serves as a way to keep myself accountable and externally motivated to get my work done. If you're interested in how I make my music and videos, feel free to take a look at previous episodes. Welcome to all of you who are listening to me for the first time. If you're enjoying my content and want to see more, please consider subscribing. So, something out of place has shown up on my channel. If you've been following this channel in the past 2 weeks, you'd know that a music video came out. Now, that by itself is not odd, as the main purpose of the channel is music. The interesting thing is the addition of vocals. This was actually an assignment for my Writing 122 class. We had to use a form of media to satirize something, so my friend and I chose to use music to satirize public education. We started with the lyrics since that was important for the assignment, and then to keep things simple, we decided to use common time. I found a chord progression that I liked in a nice key, which in this case was E flat major, before finishing the lyrics to get a good sense of what the melody would be like. I then used FL Studio and crafted a nice melody. While I worked on all the instrumentals and supporting sounds, my partner recorded his part. Once we recorded and finished with the instrumentals, I did some editing of the vocals and then put them all together. Besides the music, I also used Krita to make an animation loop as a test. The animation is just the flashing of the ritual symbol on the ground, which is simple but is a good start. I might add more such animations in my videos as I learn more about it. So this song was both an assignment and a test of my creativity as well as some of the skills I have been learning in the past few months. I can't say that I myself would listen to it again, but I'm definitely happy with how it turned out. After listening to the song, you'll know why I want to make Vocaloid. Now, with the transcription I'm currently working on, I didn't make a lot of progress on it because with school and the skills I tasked myself to learn, I've sort of put that to the side. And not gonna lie, my habits have degraded a bit also. Even so, I was still able to do some work on it. I wrapped up the instrumental version of the song and then started to weave the melody into the piece. For this song, I felt that it was more appropriate to first make an instrumental and then add in a melody, because the accompaniment piece in this song is so meaningful and powerful. I also wanted a little conversation between the piano and the cello in my piece, so by having the instrumental first, I'll know which ones to move to the melody at what point of the song. It's getting there, and I'm guessing it'll probably be able to be finished by April, if not the end of March. While working these past 2 weeks, I have noticed a few things that I believe are important for me to share and express. My friends around me seem to all have been incredibly busy with competitions and whatnot these past few weeks, and that got me thinking, what am I doing? Besides sports, I definitely am not doing anything that would get me an award. A little identity and ego crisis hit me there, but when I sat down and thought about it, I realized that for what I am doing, there aren't really competitions for it. I consider the work I am doing to be more entrepreneurial and freelance. What I do can't really be institutionalized into a competition or some formula for success without taking away from the true spirit of that work. I'm not saying that there aren't competitions or programs out there for entrepreneurship or freelance work, but I don't believe they reflect accurately on what it means to be an entrepreneur or freelancer, as those measures of success aren't very quantitative. It doesn't make sense for any institution to say what works well for an entrepreneur. It's the community around the idea that determines whether the work is successful or not. Of course, I am by no means saying that one shouldn't do competitions. To each their own, but for me, that doesn't appeal to me, and I am advocating that awards shouldn't be what determines how stellar an individual is. For me, the pursuit of an award, which, let's be honest, is the most important factor in competing, drowns out the value of play. Being able to experiment is perhaps the best way to learn. All of this was the conclusion of the thought experiment that played in my head when I considered this observation. I've been reading this book in the past month called Essentialism. This book details the philosophy behind essentialism and how it can be applied to our lives. Essentialism is basically the idea that we live in a world with many options. Most of the options we take aren't actually that important, and only a few really end up meaning anything in the long term. The goal is to avoid as many non-essential tasks as possible to make the most out of one's limited resources and life. One point the book makes is that efforts spread too thin don't really add up compared to that same amount of effort focused on one thing. As I have stepped back and analyzed my own work, I've realized that my current experiment with a week of focusing on one task may not be enough time. Right now, I'm trying to do too many things at the same time, so I'm going to focus on 2 projects and work with them until completion. One project will be music related, so in this case, that will be the transcription. Once I finish the transcription, I'll then move on to another music project. Originally, I wanted to keep releasing transcriptions consistently, but I'll probably burn myself out if I keep going at that pace. In addition, track season is starting up, so I won't have as much time to myself. The second project will be either a topic to learn or another piece of content. I've decided to focus on that educational video I spoke of a while back. I haven't talked much about it, but I've been working on research behind the scenes for it. That'll be my new plan forward, a path that hopefully is more sustainable and efficient. Alright, well, I think that about sums it up. Thank you all of you who watch these updates. It provides me important feedback on my work and in turn helps me provide everyone with better content to enjoy. I appreciate the support everyone has given me throughout this process. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.